Welcome to Sophie's garden, second video. It's the 18th of August 2010 and I want to talk about the raised beds and the vegetable garden. There are 12 beds in total and I'll give you some idea of how we've constructed them and then show you what's in them. This first bed is the longest bed. It's fruit in there. We call that number 1, and then bed number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 and number 6, then 7, 8, 9 and then the beans, 10, 11 and more fruit in number 12. So looking straight down the garden now, that's looking pretty well full east, so the sun rises over there and then swings over the hilltops over there. So at midday it's coming from that direction somewhere. The beds are made from 2" by 6". It's a nominal 2" by 6", and they're treated timbers. They're joists. If you were building a house, it's a timber you'd use for the joists. We buy them in 4.8 metre lengths and then cut them down so as 3 joists are used to make 2 frames. To make 2 frames, start with 3 off 4.2 metre long timbers, cut each of them in half and then cut one into quarters and assemble them as shown. This will give you 2 frames measuring 1.2 by 2.4 metres. That's around 4 foot by 8 foot. This seems to be a convenient size for us, and it's the most economic way to use the joists. Some of the beds are made from old railway sleepers that have been split into 3 or 4, and they've got the tar on them, and they're pretty horrible and certainly wouldn't use them again, although it's fair to say they'll probably last forever. To try and stop the cabbage white butterfly, we've put net over the brassicas, and the nets are supported by a steel hoop that I've made. I've used 8mm diameter and 10mm diameter steel wire. This is 8mm on the strawberry bed. I cut the wire into 4 metre lengths and then bend a loop in the middle, which I'll give you a little sketch of what I do there, but they're very successful and they're very easy to push into the ground, and of course they're very easy to store. This is 8mm diameter cold drawn steel, and this is 10mm diameter material. To make the loops, first measure half of the width of the bed. Then, on a flat surface, mark out the radius of the bend. Mark the top centre of the semicircle. Mark the centre of the rod with a piece of tape. Align the tape with the top of the semicircle and then progressively bend the rod, carefully following the pattern you've marked out. We've used 4 loops for an 8 foot long bed. When bent like this, a 4 metre rod, that's about 13 foot, gives a height of about 1.2 metres or 4 foot under the bottom of the loop when the ends are pressed into the ground. I've covered these wires, this is an 8mm wire, I've covered it with duct tape, so this is a silver tape, and I've put the tape over the wire, and then every so often I've put a piece around it to hold it in place, because I don't expect it to stay there for long, because the metal will go rusty underneath, but as this net moves over the wire, if it moves over rust, it will abrade the netting. This is plastic netting, and it does get extremely windy here. We've covered all of the pathways with slate chippings. We were going to use wood bark, but I thought it would sort of migrate into the house. This is Welsh slate and the colour is plum. Okay, that gives you some idea of what the beds look like and the setup. On the next video I'll show you the vegetables that are growing in each of the beds. That's it from Sophie's garden for the time being. Thanks for watching. Oh, well done.